Humans, I am your herald of the gods. Look at it. Look at it. Now look at me. And welcome back to the Culture Guys channel with your boy Mike. So, turns out James Gunn has different plans for the DCU than we thought. Apparently he says there's no big bad for the DCU. Check out this clip.
The 8 to 10 year arc is, a lot of what DC is, and the fun for me really is in the world building, not just the story building. DCU isn't, I don't think of DCU as being, this is a story we're telling over multiple films and TV shows about one big bad. I don't want to have to do, as an audience member, to do the homework, to have to see every single thing.
So basically, also in this video, first let me get to that. He mentions that there's going to be an 8 to 10 year story arc for the DCU for his vision. Now, I don't think previously he even mentioned anything about like the timeline and how long this is going to go. I, in my mind, imagined this was going to be a decade long, minimum 8-year, 9-year, decade long run for James Gunn with the DCU in his hands, with him at the helm, him at the fucking wheel. And in a couple days, actually, I want to say today is November 29th. So in less than a week, kicks off the DCU officially. It'll be Creature Commandos. It'll be on Max. I will say that DC does adult animation very, very well. I think they have taken that genre, which I didn't even think would be a thing, you know what I'm saying? But I love seeing, again, I said it before, seeing the characters I grew up with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Superman, Batman world and shit like that. I mean, yeah, it's a little, you know what I'm saying? It gets real raunchy sometimes and they cuss a lot, but they get to explore more adult themes, which is a different turn from what Marvel is doing. So speaking of doing things different from what Marvel is doing, everybody assumes, this is crazy in this day and age, we'll have somebody come along and do something that is huge, right? Or and it seems like it's setting a precedent. There's no law, there's no rule. I'll give you a great example, the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl thing, right? Lil Wayne has been out here talking about how he feels like he was snubbed and shit like that. Shouts out to the GOAT, Lil Wayne, because, he's one of my GOATs, for real. But nobody said that just because the Super Bowl's in New Orleans, no one said that Lil Wayne was going to be performing. Just because they did it one time in Cali and all the people from Cali, Snoop and all them and Dre was there, does not mean that's not how the Super Bowl works. That's never how it's been. It's never they never get artists from the city where the Super Bowl is going to be at. Same thing with Marvel and DC. It's unprecedented what Marvel has done, but I feel like all along DC's been wanting to do this. So to make this video not too long, Marvel has so far had this thing where, they had these individual movies. They had this, 8 to 10 year run where all these individual movies, and then they came together as the Avengers to fight a big bad. And James Gunn is like, nah, we're not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? He is more about the story and the writing, which I really commend him for that. I really appreciate that. I don't care for him to do everything that Marvel did because it was successful. And I know that's what everyone's expecting, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. He said he wants to focus on a more your world building, the individual characters. He doesn't care about the tone of each one being different from another, which can't work if you see what Marvel's doing. Technically the tones have been technically the same, to be real with you. Even though each movie and each entity, each show that Marvel has done in each phase has taken from a different genre of movies, like we talked about before, like the buddy cop flick, the romantic comedy with Thor, with horror with Wanda, you know what I'm saying? They've done that. It's still the same tone, you know what I'm saying? Loud, colorful explosions, fighting, punch you in the face. The espionage flick, which is my favorite one with Winter Soldier, you know what I'm saying? I should have throw that in there. but all the movies connected, ultimately coming together for them to form a big bad. But they're not going to do that. And I guess he feels like, he doesn't want any other viewers to miss major plot points. If you like Marvel started out real simple, right? And then it got to a point where if you missed one of the shows on Disney Plus, if you missed a movie, then you come back to the next big movie you might get excited for, and you're like, well, who is this person? And what happened to this person? And why is this person missing? And what are they alluding to in this conversation? And it got really, really weird. And I think that's where for me, that's where Marvel started to take a dip, because it started to get confusing. We didn't know what now after Thanos. What now? And all these different shows and interconnected movies and things like that after the snap, and all these conversations are going on. We're fighting different things, and we don't know what's going on. Everybody else is focusing on, Marvel started doing the woke and anti-woke. We're not, fuck all that. The writing started to go off the rails because there was no direction. There is no big bad to fight. And if you missed a movie or if you missed a series, then you don't know what the hell is going on. So there's a lot of confusion. To me, that's one of the big reasons why Marvel started to take a downturn. Marvel, what they did had never been done before in the comic book to movie transition. And so far we know Creature Commandos is coming, Superman is coming, Peacemaker's coming, season 3, Supergirl is coming, which I mentioned in the last video. Shouts out to my girl, Millie Alcock, who is playing Supergirl, which I'm excited for. I love Supergirl, the character, even though, like I said, it is kind of redundant to have them both in the same city, you know what I'm saying? Let Supergirl go do her own thing if you're gonna keep her on Earth. But this looks like she's gonna be exploring, trying to find her purpose and shit like that. And then Lanterns, which James Gunn cannot stop talking about this show and how good it is as like a true crime detective series or whatever it is. So I'm looking forward to all that shit. But with there no being big bad worries me. But I'm excited at the same time because with him focusing on world building and writing and storytelling, he said he's not going to move forward or greenlight anything if he gets the script on his desk and that script is trash. Then there is no timeline for it. I love that. Again, I know a lot of people hear that and they're like, oh shit, what is the fuck is he doing? Come on, let's just get to it. But he's doing what we've all wanted. He's focusing on the things that matter to people that are passionate about these characters in these stories, and not just giving us fucking Batman versus Superman, you know what I'm saying, which was absolute trash. But what I do think is going to happen is I think he's saying that there's not going to be an 8 to 10 year run, and then they're all ultimately leading to a big bad, which allows for them to tell the Superman story. Which is, I fully believe that deep in his back pocket, that's what he's doing. It hasn't been done yet. They tried it in the 80s with the Superman, Superman 1, Superman Returns and stuff like that. And we began to care about Superman, and then it just fell off. We haven't given a fuck about Superman since the death of Superman. And that's the key. If he can build a timeline of story and events surrounding the Justice League, DC characters like Wonder Woman and Batman, having them meet the Justice League and all that good stuff, while still allowing Superman to be the core backbone of this 8 to 10 year run they're about to do, we'll give a fuck about Superman when the big bad comes. If it's Doomsday and he dies, because we all know he's gonna die, then we'll care a lot more. And I've been waiting on something like that. Kind of the same thing when Batman got his back broken by Bane. There was a little bit of people pushback saying that, that movie wasn't that great. But we all knew that the major plot point in that movie was him getting defeated by Bane. And that really did make the story. But my point is, it'll either be Darkseid or it'll be Doomsday. I love Darkseid, by the way, as a villain. I just can't stop. I can't get enough of Darkseid. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of my favorite villains because he's just like so cool, but he's so focused. And he just shows up, kicks ass, gets his ass kicked, and then he just goes back home like, all right, y'all, I'll check y'all. I'll pull up again in about a year or two, man. I gotta talk to my guys right quick because these niggas is tripping. But I see y'all got Superman, Clark. Okay, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? Darkseid just be showing up and doing his thing, and then he just go back to the crib like ain't nothing happened, but he's powerful enough to take on all of the Justice League and damn near not get scratched. Doomsday, we already know, you know what I'm saying, what time it is with him. So, you know, I'm excited for the timeline. I'm excited to see what James Gunn does. Even if there is no big bad, if he's just telling stories for 10 years and then one day, boom, he decides, okay, let's give them all something to rally together to fight. I'm down for it. So let James cook is the motto right now. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. That's all I got. Gotta go. See y'all in the next video. You better pull up on me. Don't do it for me. Do it for the God.